of the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, Akinola Olateru of the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, Professor Mansour Matazu of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, and Alkali Modibo, the rector of the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology. Yuletide, Enugu police warn travellers against night trips. As the Yuletide approaches, the public relations officer of the Enugu State Police Command, Daniel Ndukwe, has advised motorists and other Nigerians to plan for the season's travels and expenditure. He also warned against night travels, and Ndukwe said Nigerians should travel through a known transportation company while ensuring they register their details on the manifest. NNPCL not transparent on subsidy dollar revenues, World Bank. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Corporation Limited is not transparent about the financial gains from fuel subsidy removal, the World Bank has disclosed. This extends to subsidy arrears that have still been deducted and the impact of subsidy removal on Federation revenues, the bank noted. The Washington-based bank made this call in its Nigeria Development Update, December 2023 edition titled Turning the Corner from Reforms and Renewed Hope to Results. Rivers demolishes Assembly. Pro-Fubara Speaker declares defector seats vacant. The crisis in Rivers State assumed another dimension early on Wednesday when the state government demolished the state legislative chamber. The assembly complex, comprising about 6 buildings, including the main chamber, was built during the administration of Dr. Peter Odili. Moving on to Vanguard newspaper, new Nipang's health insurance scheme arrived at without consultation, PTD. The Petroleum Tanker Drivers PTD has urged its members to jettison the health insurance scheme set to be launched by the General Secretary of the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NIPENG, Mr. Afolabi Olawale. A statement sent to the paper by the National Chairman of PTD, Mr. Lucky Oseswa, and National Secretary of PTD, Mr. Humble Obinapar, declared that the scheme lacked acceptability, consultation and direction, describing it as a Greek gift to hoodwink PTD members, adding that it was a clear departure from the original idea. Economic reforms. Nigerians under poverty line rise to 104 million. World Bank. A World Bank report has indicated that Nigeria's poverty level has taken a notch higher at the backdrop of the recent economic and fiscal reforms. The key reforms include the removal of petrol subsidy and the foreign exchange market rate monitoring. The bank, however, commended the federal government for what it considered bold reforms necessary to rescue Nigeria from fiscal cliff, describing the current pains as temporary. I will take the last one from Alausa Alert. HOS advises top government officials on emotional intelligence. Directors of Administration and Human Resources in the Lagos State Public Service have been advised to always endeavor to apply emotional intelligence in relating with the workforce. Lagos State Head of Service, Mr. Bode Aguru, gave the advice in Ekpe, Lagos at the 2023 three-day retreat with the theme Transforming the Admin and Human Resource Cadre through Strategic Reorientation, Mindset and Culture Change for Effective Service Delivery. That's it. To pick up a copy of any of the dailies, go online to read more. Also, interact with us via our social media platforms: X, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos One, and follow me across social media at Dele Agadumo.
Without the roads, there won't be vehicles. Without the roads, there won't be the streetlights. Without the roads, there won't be the need for traffic lights. Without the roads, there won't be any need for the last mile officials. Without you, there won't be the roads. Without you, there won't be us. Therefore, observe the rules of driving. A message from Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Moving Lagos forward.
Nadu nadu, nadu nadu, nadu nadu, nadu nadu, nadu nadu. You better mind yourself, oh, mind yourself, oh boy. Nadu gaga for here.
Jump up and down like a jangirova. I dey try make I no vex, make we not fight again. But if you try me, I now vex your mama, no go know you again. Ajaleke Aja, enter with your change. Jovi, I'm not willing to I talk my own now.
Oga, come on, may I pass?
Now Aja they go, now Leki they go. Enter with your change, I they shout now.
Driver, won't you allow me sit down before you
Ajaleke Aja, Oga, you pass some money from the bag here. Oh, who give me 1,000 naira bag? For many people, I will join you people new. Tori mo pariwo, I talk my own say I no get change.
Now me get down and they go VI.
If I start now, my finish not to pay. Don't be all this one.
I know you Oga. Park ma come down, abeg.
Abeg, park your boss. Make this one not come off my boss, abeg.
driver, not try amo. It be like say you want me to collect your motor for illegal parking and you go still pay 20,000 naira fine if na your first time. And if you be regular customer, you go pay 30,000 naira fine.
I don't know that one, no, guy. You gas wait tomorrow reach the nearest legal bus stop before you come down.
Conductor, close this door now. You want make I fall?
Abeg, no vex. I want people passenger, no vex.
It be like say you never see the new rules for Lagos as you just they commit offense, they drive, they go. If you leave your door open and them catch you, you go pay 20,000 naira fine if na your first time. And if you be regular customer, you go pay 30,000 naira fine. Apart from this fine where you go pay, you go still do 1 month community service. I dey talk my own no.
Auntie, calm down. Are you tell sabi all this thing? Shey they work for government?
I know they work for any government too. Now radio I dey learn all these rules. Now every day I dey listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM.
Oga, me you don't say as they go. Put down for Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Make we say learn wetin dey go.
That feeds with a phone while driving. Do you know that at least 23% of all car accidents each year occur with the use of cell phones? Distracted driving is responsible for a higher percentage of road crashes among motorists and pedestrians in Nigeria. Distracted driving is dangerous. Let's shun this act to stay alive. It's better to be safe than to wallow in sorrow for what could have been avoided. While driving or walking, please put that phone away and concentrate fully on the road. A message from Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, your driving companion.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. It's nice to have you back on your side mirror this beautiful Thursday. And we give glory to the capital God for his mercies, which is very, very limitless. And we can tell you, those on the roads right now, it's getting much better on Ikorodu Road. Earlier on, we had 2 impediments. Both of them, they've been taken care of, especially the one at Independence Tunnel, and so it's a much better drive for you right now if you're making use of that corridor. Yaba end, we can tell you vehicular movement from Empire to Jibo underneath the bridge is very good to go, and we can also tell you from that point on, talking about Jibo in and out of Fadiyi, also very much in good shape as we speak. Traffic inwards Herbert Macaulay Way from Jibo down to Adekunle intersection, very, very cool and calm for now. Return journey from Adekunle interchange to Makoko Junction, as well as Panti signal light. Alagomeji, very encouraging as we speak. We have good vehicular movement as well from Alagomeji signal lights to Sabu and St. Agnes down to Jibo underneath the bridge. Inwards Empire, very good to go. Steady movement is being experienced from Jibo underneath the bridge to Yaba Phase 1 and Phase 2, proceeding through the bridge to Oyingbo. Also appreciably good too, and that's what you'll find. Yaba Phase 1 proceeding through the flyover bridge down to Phase 2. We have free-flowing traffic in and out of that corridor linking up with Ujulegba. So that's the experience that you have if you are navigating through that corridor. Okay then, so on this first segment of the program, let's talk about your vehicle engines. This is a campaign that has been on for 6 weeks, and this is courtesy of the NGK brand in Nigeria. And of course, you know what they represent. So today we're continuing the dialogue on the O2 sensor, that's the oxygen sensors in a vehicle. And joining me on the phone right now, James Adike, Territory Manager for Nitera, is linking up with us on the phone line. James, nice to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Victor. Nice to be here once again. Good morning, Lagos.
All right, then Benedict Oko is CEO, Universal Automotive Training Academy. Benedict, nice to have you. Good morning.
A pleasure. Good morning to you, sir.
All right, then. So, like I said, you can send in your questions this morning. Let's have, or perhaps hear from you. If you want to ask Ben or James any question, feel free to do so on the program this morning. All right, then. So, let's just do some revision. On Monday, we started the conversation on the O2 sensor. So, talk to me, Ben. Primary function of an O2 sensor is what?
Well, the function of the oxygen sensor is exactly what the name actually says, oxygen sensor. It senses oxygen within the exhaust stream. And a lot of people will be wondering, why will there be a sensor on the exhaust to sense oxygen?
Yeah.
Well, the purpose is that after the combustion, the control module, that is the engine control unit, otherwise known as brain box, wants to know what was the proportion of air and fuel that was combusted, so that it will be able to prepare either a richer one or a leaner one. Now, the oxygen sensor is only the medium that will be able to communicate with the engine control module to tell it exactly the condition that took place during the combustion process.
Right.
So if the oxygen content is too much, then it means that the mixture was too lean. And if the oxygen content is too small, then it means that the mixture was too rich. Right. And the control module is actually struggling to keep a ratio, which technically is known as the stoichiometric ratio. That is 14.7 grams of air to mix with 1 gram of petrol.
All right. So is there any relationship with environmental factors like the season that we are right now? We are in the Harmattan haze. Is there any effect that can have on the O2 sensor?
Not really, but again, if the oxygen sensor is not working properly, it has impact on the environment itself. Because if you burn too much petrol, then it means that the carbon that is going to come out from the exhaust, the carbon monoxide, the nitrogen oxide, and the rest of them are going to increase. So the oxygen sensor is actually one of the sensors that gives feedback to the engine control module for it to be able to meter the right amount of air and petrol so that it doesn't have harmful emission to the environment.
All right, then. And to James, I was asking the question on Monday, O2 sensors from NGK, do you have enough of them?
Thank you for that. Yes, we have enough of the O2 sensors for the model of cars we have in Nigeria, be it the Toyota, the Mercedes, be it the Lexus, whatever it is. We have the O2 sensors for each of the vehicles available at a very affordable price.
Okay, so let's talk about that affordability, because that's always the issue. When you say it's very affordable, is it different specifications, different variations that you have?
Yes, we have a different variations for the different vehicle models and for the year models also, because the newer vehicles, they use a newer version, and the older vehicles, they use an older version. So we have each of these versions for each of these model years available.
Right. And Ben, peradventure, my technician puts an older version into my vehicle, which is, let's say, 2017, 2018 model. Is there any effect that will have, or how would that affect the effective functionality of my engine?
Well, incidentally, the oxygen sensors are unlike the spark plugs that probably, yes, they still have the same trading, most of them, but again, the connectors are quite different. So even if you are able to screw the oxygen sensor into the exhaust, the connectors will not match. Now, the connector is one of the things that will tell you that is not the right oxygen sensor for that vehicle. But I do know again that technicians have this habit of trying to make things work. We can work it.
Work it the other way.
Syndrome. Yes. So what they'll probably do is to remove the connector that comes with the oxygen sensor that is not fit for that vehicle, and then try to use the existing connector on the old vehicle to make it, to force it to work there. But unfortunately, the signal that is being sent by the oxygen sensor may not be a signal that the ECU understands. So if there's no proper communication between them, then the signal that is being sent cannot be used by the ECM.
Right.
So it may be out of range or completely unreadable to the ECU.
All right, then. So for me, a layman, how will I know if my O2 sensors are going bad?
Well, the only way you can know is by the time your fuel consumption becomes very, very high, or you begin to see black soot coming from the exhaust, that is black smoke coming from the exhaust. And sometimes when you're driving in traffic, you begin to feel some kind of pepperish sensation in your eyes. That is a sign that the oxygen sensors are going bad or have gone bad.
All right. And how many oxygen sensors do I need in my vehicle, in my engine?
Traditionally, 4 cylinder engines, which are very, very popular, will use 2 oxygen sensors because they have just one band. And what we need by band is a row of cylinders. If you have 6 cylinders in V shape, then it means that you have 2 banks, bank 1 and bank 2, and you may be able to have from 3 to 4 oxygen sensors on such vehicles.
All right. Lagos Traffic Radio, 96.1 FM, NGK segment. Talking about NGK Spark Up segment on Your Side Mirror. I have James Adike and Ben, talking about Benedict Oko. Both of them are talking, and we are making reference to the O2 sensor. We're going to take a short break right now. When we return, we'll hear from you. Let's also feel a bit of what you would like to probably get resolved from Ben and James this morning. Within a short time we have remaining, you can quickly send in your questions on 08099120777 and 09153877127.
Are you looking for where to get quality and durable automobile parts with value for money? Introducing of the legendary NGK spark plugs, but that's not all. We've got a complete range of auto parts to keep your ride running smooth. From spark plugs to ignition coils, oxygen sensors, map sensors, or glow plugs, we've got you covered. We deliver quality, performance, and value. When you're revving up your engine, think NGK. Visit our distributor, Ashai Brands at Afprince Complex, 122132 Apapa Oshodi Expressway, Isolo, Lagos State, and have offices nationwide. Send an email to incharge_tsc@ashaibrands.com or call 0701-998-0737 for inquiries. Don't compromise on quality. Choose NGK.
Lagos Traffic Radio, 96.1 FM. Do not compromise on quality. All right, then. So let's begin to hear from you. And some messages are also trickling in as well. This one says, good morning, Victor, and to the NGK representative. My name is Habib from Ishaga. I recently discovered that my car engine is shorting on oil. After doing a check around the engine, with a leakage, which there wasn't any. Okay. So it says, let me just get that correctly. It says, from Shaga said, I recently discovered that my car engine is shorting oil after doing a check around the engine for a leakage, which wasn't any. It says, what could be the cause of this problem? Okay. All right. So maybe Ben can respond to that. It says that his engine is shorting on oil. Can it be linked to any of these things that you've been talking about?
Not at all. Shorting of oil is not linked to either spark plug, oxygen sensor, map sensor, or MAF sensor. It is not any of those that would be the reason why it's shorting oil.
Okay.
Shorting of oil really means that you're having excess oil coming to the upper part of the cylinder and getting combusted during the combustion process. And what this implies, or what this means, is that either you have one piston wings or the valve seals have given way, that oil is coming to the combustion area and getting burnt during combustion process. So it has no bearing whatsoever with oxygen sensors or any of those components that we are talking about.
All right, then Henry from Ogbai sending this one in says, what role does an O2 sensor play in terms of fuel consumption? And can a faulty O2 sensor result to high fuel consumption? Okay, Henry from Ogbai sending that one in.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. A bad oxygen sensor will lead to higher fuel consumption and poor fuel management. So if you have a bad oxygen sensor and the vehicle has been scanned and it reveals so, then that is the reason why the vehicle is very thirsty with fuel.
All right.
So you need to replace the oxygen sensor to ensure that you get your fuel economy back.
Okay, then this one that's coming in. This one says, my vehicle failed the emission test recently, and I was told it could be as a result of failed O2 sensor. Could you please expatiate on this?
Well, just like we've been saying on the one before this one as well, oxygen sensor failure.
This is Jide from Satellite Town, by the way. Jide sent this one in. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. Of course, the oxygen sensor can lead to failing an emission test. Because the moment the oxygen sensor goes bad, like I said earlier, there's no way the vehicle computer will be aware of how much fuel is being burnt by the engine. Because there's no way the ECU will get a feedback like, okay, this is the amount of oxygen that it is. Is it less or is it too much? For the ECU to make adjustment so that it knows how much fuel is mixed during the combustion process. So if it doesn't have that feedback, then definitely it's going to go to a default mode that is going to make the engine consume more fuel, and that would definitely lead to an emission failure.
Right.
Therefore, I think the best thing for him to do at this point is to run a scan on the vehicle. Then he'll be able to tell which of the oxygen sensors actually have a problem. Although I personally advise people to always replace all oxygen sensors the moment one fails, because all of them are installed at the same time. So if one begins to fail, it also tells you that the next one is going to fail sometime very soon.
All right, then let's leave it at that. Let's get back to this. So technicians who diagnose these kind of problems in vehicles, Ben, how can they really ensure that they are doing the right thing, especially as relates to this O2 sensor? I believe it's going to be very delicate a bit for them to really identify this and diagnose properly. What's your thinking?
Well, the problem usually is that technicians who diagnose oxygen sensor related problem do not go to buy brand new oxygen sensors. Instead, they rely on buying used ones that they cannot really tell the integrity of or the condition of those sensors. A sensor that has been used on a vehicle already, the moment you put it on another vehicle, you can't tell how long it will last, but it is still working. And you cannot tell if it is actually working properly. And again, after installation of oxygen sensor, most especially the used one, they need to do an IM test with their scan tool.
What does that mean?
That is inspection and monitoring, yes. They need to do that to ensure that the oxygen sensor completes its test. If it doesn't complete its test, it will definitely fail, because the moment you put it, it's not going to show you that it has failed, because it takes some time for the monitoring to be completed. So the client might just drive off, and then maybe a few days or a few hours, and then the light comes back on again because it has failed that IM test.
Right. All right, then. So, James, for those who would like to really identify the authentic, as we do say, original parts from NGK, how can they do that? What should they be doing at this time, even as we proceed towards the festive season?
Okay, for those who might want to travel and those who intend to get the new oxygen sensor or any of the NGK products at this point, I would advise that you visit our distributor at Afprint Complex, plot 122/132, Apapa Oshodi Expressway. That is where their office is located. or you can call their number and on 070-1998-0737. That is 070-1998-0737.
All right, then we'll leave it at that. Ben, what's your parting thoughts today on the program?
As always take care of your vehicle and it will take care of you. If you don't, you end up spending more money trying to maintain it.
All right, then. Nice connecting with both of you. Thank you so much for linking up with us this morning.
My pleasure.
Okay, then. So NGK's Spark Up segment on your side mirror. And, of course, we'll be able to look at your O2 sensor. Next Monday, we'll be reflecting on another subject of great importance as relates to the functionality of your engine. A brief break right now. We'll do our birthdays. And, of course, don't forget, today we'll be speaking with the Honorable Commissioner for Transport. And so if you have any questions for him, feel free to send that in as well.
Are you looking for where to get quality and durable automobile parts with value for money? Introducing the legendary NGK Spark Plugs. But that's not all. We've got a complete range of auto parts to keep your ride running smooth. From spark plugs to ignition coils, oxygen sensors, map sensors, or glow plugs, we've got you covered. We deliver quality, performance, and value. When you're revving up your engine, think NGK. Visit our distributor, Ashai Brands at Afprince Complex, 122132 Apapa Oshodi Expressway, Isolo, Lagos State, and they have offices nationwide. Send an email to incharge_tsc@ashaibrands.com or call 0701-998-0737 for inquiries. Don't compromise on quality. Choose NGK.
Thank you. I'm just messing around. Hey, I beg. This is not a love song. I beg, because.
Okay, wait. How about this one? This not the season to rejoice. Now you be the reason. Jesus, the little baby who was born. So tell the whole world he's Lord. In the manger he laid. The three wise men came and gave for a
Shuretire. Of course, you are staff with the Lagos State government. A big shout out to you as you celebrate on this day. We wish you the very, very best. Oladele Ige is celebrating today as well. We wish you well. Said Obani is equally celebrating as well. Ismaila Mohammed is staff with Lagos State government. Happy birthday to you. Tony Ereku is equally celebrating. We wish you well. Etc. Ejikeme is a poet and an artist. Big shout out to you too. Lolade Faith Adeyemi is celebrating on this wonderful day. Favor Gawa, aka Favoritism, is also celebrating on this wonderful day. Mrs. Folashade Ogunowo of the Admin and Human Resource Department for the Lagos State Valuation Office. Happy birthday to you. Cynthia Ojo is celebrating. Cynthia is wife to CSP Julius Ojo. Of course, we are celebrating you. Julius Ojo is a great friend of the house. Cynthia, we wish you the very best of this wonderful day. Many, many more in terms of good tidings and blessings as you advance in age. Adisa Azizat Abike is Abike rather. That's Adisa Azizat Abike is celebrating. A big shout out to you on this wonderful day. Stephen Omobolaji Ifekwana is celebrating. We wish you well. Pastor Peter Oyebade is celebrating. You are zonal pastor, Fruitful Vine Zone of RCC.